Good evening, everybody. I am very proud to be with you in the Celtic Park tonight and to present to the fans of the Celtic Football Club the FIFA Fair Play Award for 2003. Celtic fans, you are great, you are marvelous. Go on, the game is fair play.
There you go, just for you, you're wonderful.
Well, a very good evening to you. It is cold up here, but remember, Celtic are playing in almost an impregnable fortress. 70 games unbeaten in the stadium, and you heard the reception by the Celtic crowd for Sepp Blatter there, and how much Sepp Blatter has been talking about the great quality of the Celtic support, not just in terms of the support they give them, but the loyalty as well. And there's a crowd of about, I would say, certainly over 45,000 in tonight. Now, the opposition to Teplice, they're not as easy as this man beside me, Jim Craig, can put on his boots again and go out there and play, Jim, but they haven't won in the last 9 games, but you never ever take a team easy at this level.
No, and I think a team coming from Middle Europe, they have a very good coaching structure going back actually a long number of years, and they will be well disciplined, and their system will be well put together. They have lost a few players, as you can see from the numbers in the team sheet. We're up in the high 20s with some names there, so the guys from 1 to 10 have obviously gone somewhere else, but
well, Celtic
no,
team
still will be
sure,
good.
sure. The Celtic team tonight, and it's great to see Paul Lambert back there, which I think is fairly natural given that Neil Lennon can't play in this game, Jim. But there he is. The formation tonight, they always give it out as a kind of 4-4-2 on the screen like that, but I think it'll merge and evolve into a 3 at the back.
Well, you would think so. I mean, Agathe is an embryonic right back, and he's going to be much more useful tonight, thrusting forward from midfield.
There we are. A different kind of colour there, but the Teplice team tonight, fairly unknown, fairly anonymous. I think one of their outstanding players, Skala, Kusha, Verbir and Leitner, they've lost 5 of the players that beat Bayer Leverkusen and Feyenoord. A great triumph for them, by the way, but I doubt very much of a team at that level, Jim, can change and be transformed as radically as that.
No, I think you're right, Archie. As I say, we on the team sheet we have numbers like 27, 24 and 29 on their list of players, which means that some of the better known players have obviously gone elsewhere. But I would reiterate that they will be well organised. They're an older team. They won't have a great deal of pace because many of them are now in their 30s. But organisations can sometimes do wonders, but it's up to Celtic to take the tempo, raise the tempo of this game and drive at them and make sure they're on the back foot from the very start.
Yeah, only one of these players is under 25. They've a 22-year-old player, the rest are up near the 30 and 6 are over 30. Now what you can say from that is they've got experience and they'll be reasonably well organised.
Yeah, experience and organisation, but they won't have the pace that they had when they were 10 years younger, and that's what Celtic must capitalise on tonight. Players like Agathe coming down the right hand side. I've been delighted the way that Stephen Pearson has settled into the Celtic team, and also he's one of those players that you don't get too often nowadays. When he gets the ball, his aim is to get forward and go towards goal, and nowadays possession is all, and we pass and pass and pass, sometimes a distraction, and it's nice to see a boy like him coming forward.
There he is, Paul Lambert. This is his first start this season. I've seen him on a couple of times as a substitute. He's had that horrendous injury. He's no spring chicken, obviously, but he's got a great heat on him, that's for sure, Jim.
Yes, well, it's no great change for Celtic because he and Neil Lennon play in roughly the same way. Paul doesn't have the mobility he had a few years ago, but he certainly has experience, a European Cup winner, of course, as well. And it's all for go now.
There's the referee tonight, Konrad Klotz from Austria. Very experienced official indeed. Atmosphere building up for what surely will be another great European night at Celtic Park, and immediately the Celtic supporters giving that tremendous vocal urge to the team as that played in towards Larsson. And the goalkeeper there, Thomas Postulka, 30 years of age. Well, I think he must have aged about 5 years going for that one.
Well, he certainly didn't look too clever coming out there, but good start by Celtic. Keep the pressure, keep the ball in that half, actually. That's what we must try and do from the very beginning.
Big, rangy player at the back there, Ryska. A new name on the sheet, one of the players brought in to replace part of the five who had to be sold by the club. I mean, this club are really struggling. All of the Czech Republic teams are finding it hard going, except a big club like Sparta Prague, and a couple of the players were sold to Sparta Prague. There's Thompson. What a season he's had for Celtic. I was out with Celtic in Hungary, and you know, it was almost a solo virtuoso performance by him that night. He was absolutely tremendous. Played on by Sutton. McNamara. That's chipped in. Well, certainly Petrov was in on it.
Yeah, he was. He challenged well. The goalkeeper did very well coming out there. They're playing 4 at the back, actually. 4 in the middle of the park, 2 up front. Already Agathe drifting forward a wee bit from his right back position to more of a midfield role, which I suspected might be the way it would develop.
Well, you don't want to anticipate too much, but I would imagine that Martin O'Neill and the players would like to get rid of this tie tonight.
Sure.
You know,
makes for an easy trip next week, doesn't it?
Free kick to Celtic. Straight through that time, and number 18 Thomas Hunal there. A couple of times with Slavia Prague. Was there for 3 years, came back to this club, went back to Slavia Prague, and now back with Teplice. They do that a lot in Czech football. Now Thompson. Little touch forward. Henrik Larsson with a wonderful chance. Larsson scores for Celtic. A big gap appeared there. He took the opportunity and slots it in. And 3 minutes are not yet on the clock.
But the big credit actually must go to Alan Thompson for a wonderful defence-splitting pass between the two central defenders, and it was Larsson's pace that took him clear. And then, of course, when you get 20 yards out, not everybody can steer it like that underneath the keeper. But Henrik didn't let us down.
A little bit of a nutmeg there. It didn't matter. He puts it in swiftly, and Celtic have got that dream start again. I think he can. Not that he was particularly tense at the start of this game, Martin O'Neill, but he can relax on that little bit. And let's see how this team can respond to that. I'm sure in the worst anticipation that was something they were going to try and avoid, and it's come their way. A goal down already. Played out there, Hunal. Back by Thompson. And again, Jackie McNamara has had an outstanding season for Celtic so far.
And Henrik always in position actually to chase a ball like that. Jackie just looked up. Henrik pointed to the right hand side. He fired it down the right hand corner, and Henrik after it straight away. And unfortunately, he didn't get the throw in, but the willingness to fight for the ball was certainly there.
Balde trying to get in the tackle there. That was played away down the wing towards Dusan Tesarik, but he certainly didn't have the pace for that.
I think we'll see a fair bit of long balls tonight from Celtic actually, because as you quite rightly pointed out, they have a team very experienced, but also with a decided lack of pace at the back, and I think we'll go for the long ball route.
Touched in there. Varga trying to get in on it. Neat little ball through. Verbir was trying to go through there. Played out again. Thompson in that position, and there he's getting in behind the defenders again, but the goalkeeper Postulka coming out very quickly.
But you can see what Henrik's pace can do. I mean, he's not the quickest, and I don't mean that any disrespectfully, but he's never been known for tremendous pace, Henrik, but he's quick enough to go past these central defenders.
I think as he's reading of the game, Jim, you know, he's timing when to run, not just the speed. And here is Agathe. Played forward there. But I'm quite sure there were people still coming into the stadium when that goal was scored, because that would put the crowd over 50,000 now, that's for sure. Heading down towards Balde, but free kick right on the halfway line.
Now this will be interesting here to see whether we go for the short passing game, which Celtic do quite a lot, or we go for the long ball, because up there we have Chris Sutton. They haven't put Stanislas Varga up as well, so they're just obviously going to aim for Chris Sutton, who's at the edge of the box.
Played in by Balde. A little bit of a misjudgment by Larsson that time, and then played by Pearson. Pearson in that European debut. Play down here to the full-back Leitner. Petrov did all the work there. Sutton, that's a beautiful ball by Sutton, nobody on the left-hand side.
Well, unfortunately Alan Thompson come in, but it was a magnificent cross, running away from goal, and managed to cut it back, and not only cut it back, away across to the far side. Alan Thompson had come in, and Stephen Pearson was up in attack.
Play down there by Rada. Nice little touch inside. Paul Lambert trying to get it back. I think the ball had gone over. It had indeed. Wonderful sight. Stadium virtually full now.
Yeah, it's excellent, isn't it? Because, I mean, this is not a well-known name, Teplice, but it's a wonderful crowd has turned out tonight.
There's Paul Lambert. That good defensive position. To Pearson. Did very well to play it out. Well, they might have settled down a little after losing that very early goal. That really stunned them. Celtic with a lot of relish in the play. Here's Larsson. Judges it well, kept his balance. Beautifully tackled that time, cleanly tackled. Thomas Hunal coming right across to get him.
Yeah, it's good defending there. I thought he was away again, Henrik, though, because the long ball was, he is quicker than Hunal, but the Czech guy just got the touch in at the last minute.
Well, Stan Petrov breaking down that right side as he's done so often this season. I think he's going to be a threat to any defence at the highest level. Nobody in for that. Easily taken.
This is a difficult time for them, actually, because you're one down after 3 minutes. You've got to get back into this game. Celtic keeping the pressure on, and now they have to string a few passes together just to get in the opposition half and get some kind of coming back into the proceedings.
Thompson couldn't get hold of that properly. Kowalik. It's a beautiful run there by Sutton. He's tried to find Larsson, the goalkeeper. Tries to get to it. Is that going to be a free kick? No, the referee waves play on. Certainly Petrov went down hard. Now, Sutton. This is a defence, Jim, that looks as if it could be easily rattled.
It is a bit porous, isn't it, to be quite honest, yeah. Interesting one by Petrov there, because he certainly went down with a clatter. I'd like to see that again.
Balde just inching his way forward. Here is Petrov. Backed up by McNamara. Real rejuvenation by McNamara this season. Tesarik plays it out. Picked up here by Dolezal. Find that long diagonal ball there. I must say, I watched the videos of them playing. Here's a tackle coming up now, Jim. Just played in here. Out he comes. He certainly caught him late.
He seemed to catch him, but the referee was right on the spot and didn't give anything.
Now Thompson. I think that defence were very lucky to survive that. Look at the running of Larsson again. Beautiful timing. And nobody on the left-hand side. Sutton was the nearest of it. And yet again, that classic break by Henrik Larsson. You're right, Jimmy. He's not the fastest man, but what beautiful and impeccable timing.
And he killed it first time as well, actually, which makes all the difference. Wonderful pass from Alan Thompson. Very well struck. Not the easiest ball to take because he's running at an angle and at a fair bit of pace as well, but he killed it first time.
Well, they're just seeing a little bit more of the ball now. They'll welcome that. Trying to get in behind Balde. Agathe. I'm sure Rab Douglas would like a quiet evening, but on the other hand, I think he would like to have a couple of spectacular saves to show this Teplice coach that he's not easily beaten in goal, because he's I think had to receive some insults.
It's an opposition, isn't it? You know, one bad save. I mean, an outfield player can go through a game and make 2 or 3 mistakes. Keeper makes one, and makes the papers the next day.
Try to flick that on. Yes, free kick that time. He's a useful player, Masek.
Well,
Big
he's
player.
keen to run at people, and we have a few of their guys from the back who are not particularly big looking, I don't think. I mean, there's Chris Sutton alongside him, and they're certainly maybe 2 or 3 inches shorter than him. But this is the type of opportunity they have to take advantage of. Actually, they might not get too many in the course of the game. So
yeah, Dolezal to take this. Hovering on the edge, Rada, the oldest man in the team, minus a few locks. There it is, played by Rada. In fact, he did get his head to it, but far too far out. Well, this beautiful goal here. Look at the running, right in behind the defence, Jim, and he still had to finish it off.
yeah, perfect pass, swerve just in between the 2 centre defenders. Goalkeeper coming out, and if you wanted any player to take the ball in a situation like that, you would actually hope for Henrik Larsson to be on the head.
Indeed. Taken away by Sutton. Henrik Larsson, there's a lovely run by Pearson. Is he going to get there? No. Good anticipation there by the big fella. Newcomer to Celtic Park, of course, getting his debut in European football tonight, and look how he relished it.
But it's not only a 4 at the back, actually, it's a very, very square 4 at the back, and they're going to get caught regularly. Look at that, here they go again, look.
Oh, that must be in, it's surely in, yes! Second goal by Sutton. What a blunder by that defence. Celtic are 2 up, and I'm sure Sutton was a wee bit surprised himself he got that opportunity.
But you can't have 2 defenders playing side by side, one must be behind the other to form a little bit of cover. And you know, this is the pass all the time, and Celtic just must wait for the opportunity. And guys like
yeah, there he is, he takes it very well, very coolly, but I think he's a wee bit surprised. Look at the hesitation.
Alongside each other, nobody in position to cover, takes it round the keeper very well indeed, puts it into the net. No, we can finish this tie here actually tonight and make next week's just a formality.
Yeah, it looks like they are in the process of burying the side. Well, I mean, Celtic in wonderful form at the moment, and this team surely cannot afford to give them gifts like that. And they're now 2-0 down, and we're still in the first quarter of the game. Free kick. Crowded box again. Rada is up. Tallest man on their side, and it should be taken by Douglas. I think he went over, yes. The assistant referee away in the far side is indicating that.
Actually, he's 3 yards from the flag, and he's in the wrong side to see that, and still gave the decision. That's a man trying to draw attention to himself.
Indeed. Corner kick. I think they're a little bit surprised themselves. They got this near post, and that's not far away. There might have been a bit of pushing, I think, though.
Yeah, but I mean, assistant referees who do that, it's ridiculous. He couldn't possibly see, because Douglas's body must be between him and the ball. And just a bit of shoving there, to be quite honest. I must remember not to stand up again. I've got a bar right above me.
You've come through it very well. Not the first time you hit the bar, Jim, that's for sure. So, comforting scoreline for Celtic at the moment. Now Douglas, as I said, sustained a few insults from the Teplice coach. There's the break, turned inside by Kowalik. Goal kick.
That was quite a good opportunity for them. The pass was mishit because they had one lad out in the wing and another one running down the inside right channel, and the pass was just mishit, and it could have stretched Celtic at that point, because we have kind of drifted, not unnaturally, we're 2 up just now. Agathe, as the game goes on, is coming further and further forward, and really I think he's wasted as a right back. You've got to be, you know, experienced to play that position, and his best stuff is from the halfway line forwards, and he should be in that position.
Lambert with that Easily tucked away though by Leitner. Way back here defending Verbir. McNamara putting it inside. Lambert, I think, is just finding his way tonight. Difficult one for him coming back in again, and these long balls have certainly caused them grave difficulties. Trying to get this ball to Masek. I said about him, he looks a reasonably useful player. And there's nobody coming from the right for them, just taken away by McNamara. Well, they certainly try to get forward, Jim, but it's just awful defending.
Yeah.
In essence, has put them two behind at this stage.
Yeah, they can actually move the ball around reasonably well. The final pass leaves a lot to be desired, but really all we have to do is move the ball around, and now we play it forwards. Oh, you should have played it.
Now here's Agathe. Petrov had a close look at him, but he wasn't going to get that. Pearson anticipated the run very well. Pearson tries to get it in, and that's a beautiful little dummy there. And coming in behind, I'm afraid it went to his wrong foot. It was his right foot, and he had to chip underneath it.
But at the same time, actually, it was another lovely dummy by Larsson, and there was two men marking him, and nobody was marking Alan Thompson. And little prod, that's the one you must hit that goes in the corner. If you hit it too well, it goes over the crossbar. They've moved another man up the park a wee bit. I mean, they're two down just now. They've got to go for broke, to be quite honest. There's no point in defending a 2-0 deficit. So they've pushed another man up, and of course that's made Celtic have an extra man in the middle of the park.
All pressure on this man this time, but he's been rather shaky, that central defender, Tesarik.
This is their best player so far. Masek.
Leitner. So it goes to Hunal. No imagination there, no flair, and easily mopped up by the central defender again. He's learned his lesson about that, Thomas Hunal. Pearson. Just a little bit untidiness in the play at the moment. Agathe couldn't get rid of it. And it might have been late in the tackle. Petrov going for this. Gets out back again. Good play by Petrov. Now Pearson. Celtic spreading the whole width of the field at the moment. Thompson. Larsson, beautiful play, brought down, free kick. I think he was away there. He got away from his marker.
That was poor play by us, because both Stan Pearson and Agathe didn't run down the right flank. They were looking for somebody. All the players on the left-hand side, they were looking for somebody to make the run down the right flank. I think possibly Petrov got caught in that tackle. Maybe was feeling it a wee bit, but somebody should have got forward in the right-hand side.
Free kick.
It's worth a crack from here.
Alan Thompson with a long look at this ball. Petrov guarding it. Varga as well. It's Varga. In fact, well, it was travelling. It was going up all the way, but from that position, well, maybe Thompson should have had a go, but it does show you the strength that Celtic have, that they've got several men who can fire them in from there.
Well, I just watched the Liverpool game, the Newcastle game earlier on, Archie, and Laurent Robert came on the park, and the first thing he did was have a crack from that distance. He'll have a go from anywhere, and really Stan Varga hits a very good ball. It was worth a try.
Very well filled Celtic Park now, that's for sure. Paul Lambert. Well, they're trying to compete. Agathe taking his eye right at the Balde, taking his eye right off it, and I think that's a free kick. He had to get back at him, just lost his balance, took his eye off the ball, and Celtic almost suffered. They're 2 up, they're playing confidently, they've punished that defence for basic errors, but they've still got to be careful at the back as well. Free kick.
I think he got his face hit as well. Bobo just holding his face there. I don't know if it was an elbow or just a collision, but he got one in the face at the same time. Taken by Tesarik.
Fairly static in that penalty box at the moment. There's usually a lot of running around. There is now this time, and headed away there. Petrov getting in to cover up. I think Petrov was screaming at Agathe there to cover.
Also, we defended very deep, actually. We were almost between the penalty spot and the 6-yard line there. I would have pulled the defence much further out.
This will be another in-swinger. They take them quite well as the near post again. Petrov tries to get the clearance. There was an interception. Throw to Celtic.
You know, the defence can dictate at a time like that, and I would have had my line much further out towards the edge of the box, because if you get those curling free kicks going in, all it needs is a wee flick backwards by somebody and everybody's in trouble.
Push there in Sutton, free kick.
We've just let the tempo drop just a little, actually, in the last 5 minutes or so, and allowed them a little bit more possession, and we just have to get it back again. And the long ball like this causing an inordinate amount of trouble.
Still Sutton, there's Larsson trying to get it back. Tesarik's breaking away. To that now to Kowalik. No hesitation. Varga has done exceptionally well for Celtic this season. You know, there's a bit of a doubt about how he would settle in.
Yeah.
But he's done very well. He's scored goals, he's been commanding in the air, so...
Well, he has been released.
He
was released by his previous club, and there's always a bit of doubt about that, but he's certainly done very well for them.
I thought that was a dive.
Yeah, well, looked like it. Referee not said anything at all.
Oh, he's getting the free kick. Free kick, and...
he must have been watching the Porto game last night.
Yeah, well... It's catching this, I think.
Well, there is certainly a lot more of it in football, and it's not something that you want to catch on, to be quite honest.
And to be honest, it's very difficult for referees at times. You know, it's a fine judgment that's got to be made on the hoop, as it were. So here is the free kick.
That's a better defensive position, although just at the 18-yard box.
Played right in there, Verbir, and just tucked away. Another corner kick.
Well, it's not the non-contest, actually, we thought it might be after 3 minutes. They have come in and done a fair bit of work. They haven't threatened very much. When they get up there, it's mainly a cross has been their main avenue of trying to score a goal, and we've dealt quite capably with that so far.
Corner kick. Dolezal to take this. Right across, and easily taken by Douglas, who I think got a sly elbow there. Rada seemed to thump him in the ribs. Big tough character. I don't think that'll bother him one little bit. Trying that longer one again. Touched inside by Masek. McNamara. Here's Thompson. Lambert. Balde. Agathe looking for that 1-2, and he's hard pushed to get it. Didn't keep it in though. I thought he was a little slow off his mark to get that.
It was a difficult return as well, actually, from Stan Petrov, but a little bit too much, you know.
We've got a man of the match contest, of course, competition. There's the number 09079292020, and Jim will be announcing his man of the match.
Well, it certainly won't be the two central defenders for Teplice, I can say that right at the top.
Here's Agathe. Balde. Varga. Now Balde. Plays forward. Well, I think they've learned their lesson about Henrik Larsson. They're marking him very tightly now. The referee, I think, is waving play on again as Petrov went for that. Petrov's been in dynamic form for Celtic, though, with these tremendous rushes of his.
He has played very, very well, and we're doing the right thing. We are pressing all the time and just making sure that they don't get a chance to get any form of fluidity in their play at all. Actually, the breaks will come if we keep at that. But you know, we criticise the defence for being very, very square, but they're not daft. They've sealed that up now, and we've just got to work that a little bit harder and make sure that when the opportunities come, we take advantage of them.
Well, 20 minutes left of this first half, and Celtic in that commanding position at the moment. Not really bothered at all by this attack, although they look just a trifle nervous in these high cross balls from the corner kicks. Picked up here by Leitner, decent ball down the left. A couple of the players along there, that's a decent ball inside. Beautifully brought down by Thompson and opens the play up. All in a little flash. Petrov. McNamara, testimonial year, and of course he is playing with a real spring in his step. Balde. Bad one that time. He's not the most not tremendous finesse with.
No, that was a careless one. The build-up was quite good, but a careless pass at the end.
Well, in the dugout they must be pretty happy down there. Margot can give us an insight into what they're thinking.
Well, Archie, it's all quiet here in the dugout in terms of activity, except of course for Martin O'Neill, who's in his usual position looking as anxious as ever. But in terms of the fans here, everybody obviously very happy with the score so far.
Indeed, and it's a throw to Teplice. Be taken here by Dusan Tesarik. Back to Balde. That was a late one again on Petrov. He's taken some punishment in this game so far.
But it's our friend Masek, actually, who at least is putting himself around a bit, and every time the ball goes to him it looks as though he's an enthusiast and wants to get on with it. He's not, the manager is not getting that from everybody. A lot of them look as though they don't want to compete for the 50-50 balls, and Celtic controlling the game.
Play down there. Sutton picking up these long balls, trying to spread it about. McNamara. There's a poorer ball that time.
Getting a little bit confused. There's too many men in that side of the park sometimes. Actually, you get Thompson, McNamara, Pearson, and Lambert's going to cross there sometimes as well. It's this side of the park. The near side, we're not probably getting enough either from Agathe or Stan Petrov in forward runs. And if we got a little more now, I mean, there's the ball going to Agathe, facing the wrong way. He only can knock it down the touchline or back to Robert Douglas.
Played very neatly there. Skala got his head to it. And there is
now the long ball. Now that's a good ball.
Into Sutton. Another play by Lambert. Almost triangular play. Beattie. Very tight on the touchline. Just kept it in. Agathe, a little bit obvious going on the outside. He gets it again, he's onside, good position. And there was Larsson hovering at the back, ready to put that in. Didn't quite get to him. Pearson, haven't seen too much of him in the last 10 minutes or so.
They have one guy down at number 7 there, actually, is down in the corner. Tesarik got a ball in the head there, I think, but he's recovered in time. And that was quite a decent cross by Agathe, but unfortunately Hendrick's surrounded by 4 defenders. Even he can't manage that.
Well, the game has gone certainly a bit quieter for Celtic at this stage.
That's only because we're not scoring.
Here is the ball played inside and played back to Celtic. Varga. McNamara. Nice movement forward by Celtic again. They really are competing with Sutton this time, and I think that knocked him off his balance. They certainly are going in harder from the back against that Celtic attack, having learned their lessons in 2 dreadful defensive lapses. Petrov. Sutton looking inside, and he gets it. Henrik Larsson. Beautiful ball to the outside, and Thompson tried to take it first time. You could see Thompson running from about 25 yards behind him. Laid it beautifully into his path.
Great vision from Henrik, wasn't it? Control, swing round, see a man running.
Back by Pearson. Well, they should get that. Agathe. Balde does well. These elongated legs of his, getting him out of trouble that time. Just got to it. An intimidating man, of course, but we're very close to a powerful, powerful man. Thompson. There's McNamara, there's the run into the box again. Larsson, is he getting support? Little slip there that time. Away goes this man again, looks useful. Masek. Easily mopped up all the same, and Paul Lambert, as I said, easing himself into a competitive spirit again. Sutton looking for it. Wanted that ball back again. He gets it this time. Larsson. And then Petrov, what's he going to do with it? That's a beautiful ball inside, and Larsson goes for it again.
Brave man too, actually. He knew he was going to get hurt there as he went for that. I think he did get one in the head, but he seems to be okay, picking himself up. We've complicated things a little bit too much by spending too much time passing the ball around in the middle of the park. The final pass like that is still on, but we're pushing up too far. Our line should be just about the edge of the centre circle, so that the runners like Larsson, Sutton going forward, Petrov on the right hand side, Agathe, have got 40 yards to go in towards goal.
Clean as a whistle. Well, we got up to that header very well. Verbir. We're going a little bit quiet again in midfield. McNamara. Beautifully taken away there by Rada. Well, I said at the start they would be well organised and they let in 2 awful goals, but I think they've got to grips with it a little bit better now defensively.
Yeah, but they're struggling just now actually because they've got nobody to pass to. I mean, now they're going back the 15 yards inside their own half, and the same now back another 5 yards. Now who's he going to hit, because everybody's marked now? They've taken so long and he's holding his hands out. He doesn't have anybody to pass to.
It's Rada under scrutiny there by Jim, and he just gave the ball away. Varga at the back. Gave that ball away easily. Now, McNamara.
Good ball.
Here, Agathe, plenty of space in front of him. Oh, there's the run again.
Much better. Spread the play from left to right, down the flanks. Just the final pass, you know, read by the defender actually, but as long as we keep making those quick attacks, they will struggle.
Agathe to take this. Pearson, ball inside, he's getting it to that left-hand side. McNamara has to have a crack at goal, and then it is again. Well, Pearson, can he do it? Off the line it came, and I'm sure that lad wanted his first European goal. He was trying so hard there, right down to the touch line, the goal line, and look at it going across here. That was shot by McNamara. I thought he would put it in there. A little bit fortunate, but Postulka made a very good save.
Well, you've got to have a wee bit of luck in this game, and certainly it was with the Czechs at that point. But I find it was actually a mishit shot by Jackie McNamara, let him in. and he just couldn't manage to get it on target the second time. Celtic on the attack again now though, Archie, and again, you know, we've just lost a wee bit of possession. We're well in control here, and we really just have to use the fact that we are very much quicker than they are.
10 minutes remaining of this half. Right underneath us, Martin O'Neill, a little bit agitated there. Definitely wants to finish this tie tonight, and that's offside. Under any circumstances at this level, even if they never scored again tonight, Celtic would go with, I think, an impregnable lead at 2-0.
Yes, you would think so, but I don't see it finished here yet, Archie. Their defence will tire as the game goes on, and I still think that we have the opportunity and we'll have the flair to get some extra goals, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if we didn't double the present tally.
Leitner sending that down, and picked up there away, crossing the far side. Verbir, tricky little flair. They're looking a bit sloppy now. That was a better ball, and just that little interception, another corner kick, and that's the only time they've really looked threatening us when they've taken a corner kick.
Yeah, and that was another example of we gave the ball away again about 25 yards from our own goal, which you can't afford to do. We've only done it 2 or 3 times tonight. Each time they've just thrown the ball in, hoping for somebody to go for a header.
They'll be able to take. Celtic simply look much taller, much more powerful in situations like this. There's going to be a shot at goal, and that almost was touched forward by Rada, who comes up for all these set positions. Powerful central defender, and that's the first real shot from outside the penalty area.
I think I don't think he's got one of these cropped haircuts, actually. I think he's on the bald side. You know, I'm not supposed to use that expression anymore, are you? But you know, they used to get players like that in the old days. No hair.
And they were always tough. Always tough. Free kick. Paul Lambert to take. Thompson very close. First mistake of the night by him.
Right now we have the runner.
McNamara, there it is. Here's Pearson. He must shoot a goal. He does! He had all the opportunity there, right through the middle. A good long look at the goal, and then he went for it. And that's twice now in the past 3 minutes he's had an opportunity. I think he really ought to have done better than that, all the same, Jim.
Well, I was going to say a very emotive statement. A man should never miss from there, Archie. It wasn't really my own speciality, so
no, and
he shouldn't miss from there.
And I can vouch for that, having watched you often enough. Balde, determined lunge forward there.
It's a very strange thing to say, but we've actually become a wee bit nervous ourselves with the final pass and just become, you know, not as relaxed as we were earlier on. I mean, what we were trying earlier on, like the bomb there to now down the flank to Thompson,
but Jim,
it's still on.
Sure, they're 2-0 up in what, 10 minutes or so.
There's another one. I mean, a perfect pass by Thompson. It came very badly to him. It faced his own goal. It bounced up badly. But I mean, that is the pass that's passing right through the middle of this defence all the time.
It's a very kind of ordinary, normal situation. If you've taken an early lead,
sure,
you know, you tend to get a little bit complacent.
Yeah.
Petrov.
Now he can go to Thompson if he wants it on the left touchline again.
Here's Balde.
He can build up.
Here's Balde. Well, I mentioned Martin O'Neill. He looked a little bit agitated about 10 minutes ago, and I wonder, Margot, is he back to his rather tranquil self?
Yep, exactly the same as he always is, Archie. Anxious to the end, no matter whether you're 2, 4 or 6 up.
Well, they almost got through there, and once again caught very, very flat. I thought they had learned the lesson, but that ball, that long ball through the middle, found them very vulnerable. But here is Thompson. He'll try the longer one again. Just got away with that. Dolezal just got his foot to it. Balde takes a lot to bring that man down, but he's okay.
Isn't this a wonderful position to see how the game should be played from? Above the play, you see a player, obviously when you're on the park everybody's at the same height as yourself, but from this angle you see all of what they should do, you know?
We're so far above it, I think it's snowing up here but not down there. Really is a high position at Celtic Park. Paul Lambert with it. Trying to put that back. Thompson. Played again by Kowalik. Not a bad player. Tall and rather elegant in his movement. Looks quite pacey as well, but he's not really playing with anybody who's going to give him the right kind of ammunition. Taken away there by Leitner. McNamara, plenty time, plenty space. Right by Thompson. Lambert has strolled his way through the game, Jim.
Completely, yes, hasn't broken sweat at all, to be quite honest. Put a shift in, but he's just shutting the game down. This is where we have a bit of struggle now. This is where it's not working for us, is from this position. Now Agathe's in a good position to get the ball.
Picked up by Lambert again, though. A lot of possession, but not much movement forward at the moment. That's a better pass. Anticipated, though.
Well read, yeah.
Skala
came across, didn't they? Got it there. But I would think, you know, at half-time, Martin will be half pleased with the score, but a bit disappointed that we haven't capitalised on the form we've had.
I can tell you, yeah, just about 3 minutes of this half remaining. Now Balde, is he going to let fly? Just for a moment I thought he was going on his own. Agathe, Larsson, probably little reverse pass and offside.
Must have been very, very tight actually, because he ran very well.
I like the movement there, you know, going one way then the other.
Movement was good, he just must have been offside and no more.
So,
but again, something that we've been just for the last 10 minutes or so not doing, crossover movements and the final pass going through the middle. And as I said earlier on, I think Martin will be a little bit disappointed that the team is only 2 up. You know, because that sounds all right, but if they manage to get a lucky break and it goes to 2-1, then it's an entirely different proposition.
Here's McNamara. Yeah, I think Thompson's been a little bit quieter as well, but long way to go.
I think he's been given the ball actually when he's surrounded all the time. I mean, he's surrounded by 2 people there, you know.
Here's Varga. McNamara certainly seen a lot of the ball.
But you see, when you do this slow build-up, everybody gets a chance to be marked.
Here's Varga coming for me. Just got away with that. Very risky thing to take on, and you're no defender behind him either. Too much on that. The ball is out.
Nice try. But you're right. I mean, Varga came forward, and the obvious answer at his height was a long bomb for the far post and a nod down. But we tried a short pass and suffered for it.
Agathe finished rather innocuously that time. Yeah, I think there should have been probably another couple up Celtic. They had the opportunities, but as I said, a long way to go. And in any case, at this level in a Uefa Cup game, getting towards the latter stages of the tournament, you'd take 2-0 up against any team.
I think if we got another, actually to be honest, maybe 5-10 minutes after half-time, we would have some changes. You know, it'd be nice to see Sylla getting a run out, because he passes a nice ball, and I don't think he's always had the chances that he perhaps deserved. And it would be nice to see one of the youngsters coming on as well, possibly Wallace or Beattie up front, you know.
Here's Varga. Pace of the game was slowed down dramatically. The man who's hardly crossed the halfway line, actually, which is surprising. Played a very canny game tonight, Agathe. McNamara again, Pearson. Just lacked that little bit of poise as he had these two chances in front of goal. Petrov. Beautifully touched inside! Once again, Pearson making that run through the middle. He almost got there. At least he's getting into the positions to score.
Yes, that's the third run he's made, and two of them he's nearly been on the ball at the final minute, and then he missed the other one, of course. But no, it's good form coming from the middle of the park. Actually, it's what you ideally want in a young player, and also it's something in the modern game that you don't get too much of.
I think we've got 1 minute of added time.
Again, that must have been very, very tight, actually, because Henrik is too experienced a player to be well offside at a time like that. He's looking along the line, so if he's been caught, it's been inches the reason that he's been caught offside.
Picked up there as the half-time whistle goes. Well, the Celtic crowd, I would say in the region of about 50,000-55,000 tonight, rising to the Celtic team, 2 goals up, playing comfortably. Took the opportunities that came their way after dreadful defending, but you've got to take your chances, and they snapped them up well.
Yeah, we can't fault the players for their effort or their commitment and for taking their opportunities. Now they've got to do it all again in the second half, take a little more opportunity to capitalise on the poor form of their central defence, Archie.
And that's a score at half-time, with Celtic leading by 2 goals to 0.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. The whole of the second half live and exclusive on Celtic TV. Tom, it's 2-0 at half time. It could easily be 3, 4, perhaps even 5 in Celtic's favour.
That's the only disappointing point of that first half, was that really the tie should be over by now. Some of the play was outstanding. The start from Celtic was what you wanted, and they've just been dominating this game.
This team who Celtic are playing tonight are not a bad team going forward. We've saw them come close a couple of times, but they're not, and this is probably as diplomatic as I can be, they're not a good team defensively, are they?
No, well, it was nervousness at the start. That was easy for me to say, but they were, and they were all over the place. They couldn't handle the movement of Larsson and Sutton when they were just pulling, coming shot to go long and stuff, and the passing from Thompson has been a feature. The biggest threat has been at set pieces, where the delivery has been very good. They've had a number of corners, but the players have dealt with it so far.
We heard Jim Craig mention through there, as we pick up the story of the first half, some changes for the second half, Tom. That's not likely early in the second half.
No, I wouldn't imagine there'd be any changes. Yeah, that was a magnificent pass from Alan Thompson. Again, very squared. I think the defence was all over the place there, but I think that kind of ball would beat any defence, and the running off the ball has been magnificent. And they're just understanding, I think, that Thompson
He really looks up for it tonight, Henrik Larsson.
Yes, they all are. You know, the start that they had, it was reminiscent of the Celtic of old, where you would come out and blast away. Admittedly, that was a defensive mistake, maybe the nervousness, as I was talking about, just getting in each other's way. That was a good reaction for a centre forward, full on Chris Sutton. It was excellent, just hoping that there's a mistake going to be made, and fortunate enough he was able to do it.
And there was a chance, perhaps, as we see Chris Sutton's goal again, that Celtic may have had a penalty claim. The goalkeeper looked as if he just might have caught Stelian Petrov.
The only thing, I think that was well outside the box. He certainly caught him, yeah, without any question. But the referee
and
was very
do you think, had it not been Stelian Petrov, that it might have been given?
Oh, I don't know if his reputation's gone as far as Austria yet. Maybe it has. You never know. They're talking about. But that's one of the gleaming chances that we've had. Alan is right-footed or left-footed, and he would have preferred it that side. But
ball in from Stephen Pearson, and he is. He's missed a couple of chances tonight, and it's very, very rarely you see Henrik Larsson getting upset, but we did, or we will do again very shortly.
A couple of goals for the chances that he had, but that's it. He's a young lad. He's maybe got a little bit rawness yet at this level. Needs just that little bit more composure.
It will come, Archie. I think the big problem at half-time has been in the Teplice dressing room, because their coach is a very difficult decision to take. He's 2 goals down already. Does he go for a damage limitation exercise, or does he push forward and try and get the away goal that matters so much now in Europe? if he pushes forward, plays another man up front, then he weakens his midfield and weakens his defence. The Celtic can score more goals.
Well, I think it's everybody behind the ball, Jim.
Well, I would think it's damage limitation, to be quite honest, and I would be surprised if they pushed any men further forward.
Well, there's a crowd tonight. That wonderful scene you get at Celtic Park when the camera pans round, catching the atmosphere and the towering stands. And they've enjoyed it so far. I think actually Celtic crowds have got a little bit too much expectation at the time. I mean, that game recently they had against Dundee United, they were getting worried they went 4 up after 10 minutes.
Well, it is true. I mean, they've been a wee bit spoiled actually by the number of goals that they have scored in recent months, and I'm afraid that you must just temper that. I mean, this side is not a starring side, but it's a fairly competent side. It has a bit of weakness in central defence, but you can't afford to take any chances.
I think they should be thinking, I mean, let's face it, they're 2-0 up. I don't see any way that this team can get back at them. They should not be thinking of some of these juicy names.
No, they've made an immediate substitution, actually.
They have indeed.
28 on, that's Rilke for Kowalik. Jiri Kowalik is off.
I thought Kowalik actually played quite well.
Yeah, he did.
I think it must be an injury. Anyway, second half starts.
He got the head injury, if you remember, down in that corner.
Yeah, he did indeed. And Celtic leading by 2-0. Played inside it goes. This the new man, the big fellow up front, substituted one big fellow with another one. Number 28 as the man has come on. There he is.
They have actually made a change.
Rilke.
They have actually, they've gone to a 3 at the back, Teplice, and that's taking a bit of a chance because they were getting slaughtered with 4 at the back, so to leave themselves a man short there.
I think it was largely inattentiveness, you know, the ball's going through the middle and they seem to take their eye off Henrik Larsson or Sutton.
Imagine taking your eye off Henrik Larsson.
Foot forward by Lambert. There is Larsson. Didn't direct it the right kind of way, and there is the substitute we were talking about, Emil Rilke. When you are playing in a sequence of games, running in goals, playing superb football, and then you have that little lapse, which is perfectly normal for a team. You know, people wonder if they're beginning to fade a little bit. You know.
No, I doubt
the
that,
difficulty
to be
of
quite
that.
honest. In fact, it's been fairly straightforward for the team because over the last couple of months or so, we really have had few midweek games. From now on is the problem.
It is.
If we continue in Europe, then we could be playing regularly twice a week.
Varga.
That's an excellent ball.
Sutton again. Here's Thompson, a let fly. Didn't get hold of that. You could see he looked at goal on his favourite peg as well, and didn't get hold of it. And I think a free kick. It is indeed.
I think Jackie went up with his hand there.
Free kick. The referee, the Austrian referee, right on top of that, Konrad Plotz. That will remind you. And
I think
free kick.
Yeah, I think so. Jackie had a slight height disadvantage there and decided to compensate by using a hand.
Rada to play it. Not the best header by Balde. And Sutton. Lovely ball by McNamara. Henrik Larsson got it on the side of the ankle, I think.
Picks himself up gingerly, but he's okay.
Well, the one thing about Henrik Larsson, I mean, brilliantly skillful, wonderful goals he can score. He's also pretty tough.
He is. He very seldom injured in clashes.
Go to Celtic.
There are no signs of any players yet actually warming up behind the goals or anything like that. So
Sutton with it. McNamara very tight. Well, surprises me. Throw given to Teplice.
it's amazing how a crowd of this size can be so quiet at this particular stage because it's been really a non-event in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the second
has
half.
indeed, yeah. You know, we had these early goals, of course, and then the misses, and they're sort of sitting back waiting for the next 3 or 4 goals and not appearing at the moment. McNamara. Larsson taking off after it. Picked up by Leitner. That's a poor ball inside. I think it had just gone over there.
He was unlucky there, Stan Petrov. Henrik had pressurised the defender very much to push him onto his left foot, and it was a badly hit pass down the wing, and they were unlucky, Celtic, there that they didn't get some possession from that.
A weak header by Sutton that time. Verbir. Picked up by Thompson. Free kick, yes, taken from the back. And the referee having a quick word there to Michael Dolezal. Of course, Thompson's got to be very careful. He has been injured this season. He's had these lie-offs, and I'm not saying he's a fragile character, but he's been unlucky this season with injury.
Well, I think actually, to be honest, if Celtic could get another goal, he's the obvious man to bring off and allow, because there is another game on Sunday, and you have an instant substitute. You could move Stephen Pearson out a little, bring in John Hartson, or you could just play Ross Wallace in his place, and it would still keep the same sort of formation the team's in.
There they are. They not doing very much, but
getting in the road.
Yeah, they're getting in the road, and they're passing the ball around. As they're going to pass the passel movement they have in midfield without making any progress. It's taken there. Agathe not doing very well with that. Hook forward there by Tesarik. And the play is rather ragged, to say the least. Masek.
He's a grafter, isn't he?
He is indeed. He is indeed. For Lambert.
And most of the time he's doing it on his own. He doesn't really have a great deal of support up with him, and he's put a shift in. Not every one of their players has put a shift in, but he's certainly put a shift in.
Tesarik to take this. Crowded penalty area. A little bit too obvious. Good covering work there by Lambert. Lambert very good at getting out of tight situations like that. Some pretty vicious tackling going on there, and I think there might be a booking for Skala.
I think Celtic a bit unlucky there, actually, because he should have allowed Advantage to go. First of all, the ball ricocheted into the path of Chris Sutton coming forward, and a better referee might have let play go. Can always pull it back if Celtic don't get Advantage.
Varga opting for that short one. Poor play by Agathe that time. There they go again. Try to make some progress. But there's always that extra Celtic defender like Varga to step in there. That's surely a free kick again. Getting a little bit rough as Agathe tried to take off after that. But the thing about it, Jim, is that they are competing now.
They are competing. That was our friend Masek again there, who stepped in and just used his shoulder on Didi Agathe.
Free kick.
And the amazing thing tonight actually is that the long ball has been fairly productive, even from here. I mean, a high ball right into the middle has worked for them.
Here it goes again. That's looking useful. In goes Pearson, the goalkeeper just getting there. You could see Pearson making up his mind to get into the box quickly, and it almost paid off. That's the third time he's been very, very close to it. Wasn't far off that time.
No, he was very close to getting on the end of that. But again, the long ball proving very, very effective. And the great thing about that is it uses up less energy for the people at the back in the middle of the park if you use a long ball. And we've got a game on Sunday, so why do a lot of running when you don't have to?
Remains 2-0 all the same. Sutton goes after that, and it's hooked away.
I think
looking, Jim, at Czechoslovakian or Czech Republic football, as you now call them, through the years, they've always been highly technical.
Very much so.
Not too much flair, but highly technical. And you're seeing a bit of that now. They're not doing very much, but sometimes they can hold on to the ball and bother Celtic, harass them.
Not giving very much away, I think, is what they have to try and do just now. But then we've got to stamp our authority on the game again. We've allowed them to come into it a little bit more. They're not dictating by any means, but they're now giving as good as they got. And in the first half, it was mainly we were controlling things.
Well, a slacker ball again. And the referee waving play on. The Czech player went down holding his face. I think he did blow. Yes,
Yeah,
in fact he blew, and the players brought back. It's going to be a free kick. Will be taken out there by Vladimir Leitner.
Celtic coaches and managers having a little discussion downstairs. I mean, you would be thinking about some form of movement to bring this game back into Celtic's court again.
Balde going in very powerfully. They're trying to move the ball about, use the width of the pitch. Almost paid off there. Here he is again. This very good player. Just a little bit overhit. That player I was talking about, the Masek. They're certainly having a bit of time now. There's a little ball put inside, and Masek almost getting in. By far their best move of the game. They really were threatening Celtic there.
Nice triangular play, getting the ball into the box, and Masek just failing to get on the end of it. But as I said before, actually we have allowed them back into it again, and at the present moment we're not showing any signs of maintaining the control we had in the first half.
Good control though by the Czechs there, and a little wake-up call for Celtic, developing a little bit of complacency in the ranks. We seem to get the away goal at 2-0 and suddenly 2-1, and it's a different ball game, as you say. Beautifully brought down there by Thompson. Still can't get it away. They are competing. That's a free kick. This lad they brought on, number 28 there, that's Emil Rilke, looks as if he's got a bit of pace to him.
He does have a bit of pace now. This is not going to be attractive, but it's going to be very effective. He's got Chris Sutton up front here. There they are, a big
Here he goes.
jump. Why not use his height?
Here's Sutton trying to go in for that. Henrik Larsson, well, he didn't actually get to Sutton, right through there. Larsson anticipating a little head glance by Sutton. Petrov doing very well, hanging in there. That fullback made a hash of that. I don't think his coach will be too happy about it. They're making the break. And it goes over though, and the player in that far side, Vladimir Leitner, I think, would get pelters from his coach for hovering over the ball like that, because the one thing about Petrov is he's very sharp going in, doesn't let anybody settle.
No, he just made a complete mess of that, to be quite honest, and now he's given a foul away as well.
There's free kick. So still 2-0. Martin O'Neill. He's not concerned, but he's just wondering why it's still only 2-0.
Substitutes behind the goal.
Yeah,
Kennedy,
and
Wallace,
why they've come into it.
Yeah, Kennedy, Wallace, Craig Beattie, listening up down there. No others.
Here's a free kick, played in by Lambert. Sutton shielding the ball well as usual. Great quality of Sutton is that physique of his, and the way he can gather balls in the chest, lay it back to people, fend off opponents.
Now this is a dangerous position because there'll be people front waiting for it. There'll be people at the back post, and it's a difficult one to mark. It's level with, it's just inside the penalty spot in terms of distance. So you can fire it straight across with a slight curl in it, taking it towards goal, as Alan Thompson will do.
Thompson to take this free kick. The crowd beginning to respond to this situation. It could be good for Celtic, and nobody does this better than Thompson. Vicious one, curling in. The head behind it was Verbir. McNamara had been left on his own at the back. Surely the two players went down there. Now there might be bookings for both of them. There is indeed, yes. That's the substitute who came on, Emil Rilke. He gets a booking. I think his mate's lucky he's not booked as well. I think the referee was watching the first collision and didn't see Dusan Tesarik going in for it as well.
Now this cross actually has to come much further in towards the far post. That last one was too near the near post, and that was also too...
Oh, there again. Larsson almost getting the shot in. There it is by Sutton. Well, it could have gone to anybody in there, but Henrik Larsson was hovering dangerously for Celtic again. Away they go. Trying that longer ball. I thought Lambert was proud as he went for that. And there's a yellow card there for Alan Thompson.
Must have said something, I think.
Yeah, clearly he did to the referee. And indeed, I thought there was a free kick there, Jim.
Yeah. But he has obviously said something he shouldn't have, and the referee knows enough English to work it out. But that wasn't a very good. I mean, we had Stan Varga, who's 6'4", 6'5" at the far post, and both free kicks on that side came to the near post. Yep. We didn't have anybody at all.
Free kick to this side.
Two goals last week.
Dolezal. To Petrov, and there's going to be another booking as Paul Lambert takes up the cudgels there for Petrov, and that's the player I thought should have been booked a couple of minutes ago, Dusan Tesarik.
Well, he was this time actually.
He's getting booked this time.
And he's having a little mouthing session with Paul Lambert as well, which...
Well, Lambert was not at all happy by that.
But Petrov still down, did get a bad one there. I think he landed badly as well, which never helps, to be quite honest.
Well, I think they're looking...
worried Martin O'Neill.
Yeah, I think they're looking very anxiously towards him here. And I don't think Alan Thompson's at all happy about that booking either. You know, he's still...
They're waving a stretcher on for...
Yes, they're getting a stretcher. The referee has indicated that. No, I don't know whether it's just because of, you know, the technicalities of it, whether they take them off, or whether it's a bit more serious than that.
Well, as soon as the stretcher appears, he stands up usually, which always happens.
Well, Sepp Blatter was talking about that in the African Nations Cup. He said that the touchline was miraculous because they looked half dead, they got to the touchline and suddenly a transformation. But I'm not suggesting that from Petrov.
No, but one thing that's been suggested actually is that where a player goes off like that, the guy who actually tackled him should also go off until he's able to come
until he's back on again. Good suggestion.
Because just now it's 11 against 10.
Well, Martin O'Neill was certainly very anxious about it there.
Sutton given the verdict against them this time for decision, but Stan Petrov ready to come back on again.
Free kick. And Petrov is back on, looking hale and hearty. Varga didn't quite get hold of that. Balde just recovered. I have to say, Jim, Celtic have fallen away a bit.
Yeah, they've fallen out of it completely, and they've got to get their act together again. This is where the likes of Paul Lambert has to use his experience to get the ball straight about, go back to doing the passing in the middle of the park, and then the long ball that was so effective in the first half.
Yeah, but I think what we've seen about Celtic this season, they can turn the game in 10 minutes, and by turn the game I'm not meaning just score one goal, they can score maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, and you can't go 90 minutes at the same pace all the time.
Free kick again to Celtic. They're taken by McNamara. Well, there's the time, you can see it yourself. Still only 2 goals, these 2 very early goals. They seem a long time ago now. Petrov.
That was another waste actually. Stan Varga has again come up the park, was waiting at the far post for a high ball. He's much taller than any of their defenders, and he's worth a shot at.
Kamara was looking at that very, very carefully. He had to get it right. Homing in on him was Pavel Verbir. Lambert changed his direction well. Again, I think the crowd want a bit more out of the Celtic team, a bit more urgency, a bit more attacking like this. Again, that's a good ball. Henrik Larsson goes for it. Not clearing the lines at all well. Now, Lambert again. Balde. Petrov. Beautiful little pass through there. Playing it wide, Thompson. There's a little dummy again, beautiful play. Almost paid off. The referee looked at that very closely, said it wasn't a free kick. Verbir making a mess of it, Pearson going in, another free kick this time. Thompson appealing to the referee. Didn't need to against that free kick. Now this should be a profitable situation for Celtic, Jim.
Well, dare I suggest that Stan Varga's up again at the far post.
He might have seen him this time. There he goes. And he is coming in, he wasn't far away.
He wasn't far away from him, was he?
Well, he scored on, well, we've seen him scoring with his head over the last 3 games for Celtic. There's a little ball pushed inside, it's Petrov, that's a lovely ball to the outside. Sutton. Agathe. Certainly plenty of movement about Celtic at the moment. Agathe. Plenty movement of the ball with the Celtic players, but making much progress towards goal. But here is McNamara, a bit more pace about him. What's the final ball going to be like? That was Rada who just got that away. Thompson. We've got our man of the match competition going tonight. Jim Craig is already ruminating on that subject.
Ruminating or fulminating? Which, allow both?
Well, I think you'll be fulminating if they don't add another one to this tally at the moment.
Well, I think the fans are a bit disappointed at fulminating.
Of slight exasperation at the moment from the Celtic crowd. 2 up in the first quarter and now they're still there, and look at the time gone, 66
Well, look who's
minutes.
been back again, actually. You see the 2 big guys, Balde and Varga, have both come up the park.
Here's Petrov, good position by Petrov. Looked as if he wanted to let fly, it didn't pay off. Thompson not picking it up properly. And they're getting caught in possession though, and that is a blessing for Celtic at the moment, and that ball has just gone over.
Unlucky.
A little bit Well, are they concerned down there, Margot, in the Celtic bench?
Well, it's getting very tense down here, Archie. Of course, Martin O'Neill been very vocal in the dugout, but the tension's building through to the Celtic fans who are obviously striving along with the team for that 3rd goal to calm a few nerves.
Oh, come on, Margot, you're not getting as nervous as that. It'll be all right in the night. Now picked up. Tesarik getting a bid from the supporters on that far side. It's a man who was booked and was lucky not to have had a couple of bookings.
We're needing a change, Archie. We need a change of formation, need a change of system, need some change to just break up things just now that are not happening, and you know, the subs are still warming up behind the goals. You've got a selection that you can choose from.
Leitner with a free kick. 2 in for that. Away by McNamara. Now Thompson. Well, Thompson with a beautiful run forward there. Henrik Larsson, it hit his heel. He's going after it again though. Look at the way he can drift past players. Still there. Oh, they left it to each other. Unfortunate. Lambert now. And Henrik Larsson's come to life. He's coming out of the ball to try and get the ball and drive forward. That was a poorer ball though. Paul Lambert beginning to play an important part in this game. Here he is again. Thompson lying. McNamara lying that little bit deeper. Agathe. What can he do? Almost running into trouble. Petrov. It'll be picked up. Touched inside Verbir. Tends to take on far too many players, this wee fella. There's a run forward. Thompson came to cover. And it's out of play though.
You could say actually they're growing in confidence as the game goes on. They're not any more threatening near goal, to be quite honest, apart from the one that they did a few minutes ago. But certainly in the middle of the park they're much more
certainly are,
confident.
yeah. Indeed, they're marching Celtic in midfield at the moment. So we're heading towards the last 20 minutes of this game, and that's a surprising scoreline, given the tremendous start that Celtic had to this match. A little bit of a wrestling match going on there. There's Sutton trying to charge forward. Varga missing out on it. Gets back to cover. And Thompson to McNamara. A little bit of hesitation. Play goes on all the same as the player went down, and Balde will let that go through.
Two down,
Yes, it is. Two down there.
Clash of heads. Yeah. Never a very nice thing to see.
Yeah, Paul Lambert, they both got it.
Just got for a high ball. Lambert coming in, and just a clash of heads between the two of them. I think Paul took it towards the front of the head, and the Czech player took it on the side of the head, but very painful thing at any time. But it's quite fascinating how after 3 minutes you would not have given this team an earthly. After 10 minutes you would have said they hadn't a hope, at all. But
yeah,
we've allowed them to come back in again.
I don't think Celtic have been creative enough tonight.
No, we haven't been. We haven't. The long ball was very nice when it was going very well, but we got a wee bit bogged down there. It's still an effective thing here, Archie, but what has happened is we've seen about half a dozen occasions since the second half started where both Bobo Balde and Stan Varga have
gone up there, yeah,
hoping for a big long ball up there, and we haven't used it. We've hit the man at the front post.
Throw to Teplice.
This is a nice feature of the modern game, isn't it, when you give the ball back again. My generation would have played on if they had their man was down under.
Yeah, you would be.
If you were a man, if you were a man up.
Often watch you do that, Jim. Pass opponents who are lying prostrate, you'd put them there as well. McNamara settling for that. A very almost respectful Celtic crowd at the moment.
Almost Sylla getting ready down below us there, Archie.
The crowd might be a little bit bemused about this situation. No danger to Celtic, but it's, they expected a little bit more, at least a doubling of that tally by now.
Yeah. This is a good player, Momo Sylla, and not always been given, a great run, to be quite honest. They're taking off. Oh, it's not working aboard. Pearson coming off, yeah.
Stephen Pearson comes off, Momo Sylla comes on for Celtic. There's the time we've got.
Well, it's a wee bit of organisation then, isn't it? Momo Sylla, you would think, would go to the right hand side, which means Alan Thompson is going to get the left hand side on for himself. Stan Varga and Paul Lambert doing the graft in the middle of the park.
Another free kick. Can they take advantage of it this time? The big men are up, and I think there might have been a bit of pushing. There was indeed. Free kick.
I said Stan Varga, I meant Stan Petrov. And that's a fact, doing the graft in the middle of the park.
Here's the ball coming in there. Watch the jump. And I saw, Sutton went one way, Balde the other way, and I think that was a collision. By Sylla getting his first touch to it. Well, certainly at this stage, Jim, Celtic must not concede a goal.
No, indeed, because they're growing in confidence. We've got about, under 20 minutes to play just now. And,
indeed. 17 minutes.
They would be very happy to go back 2-0 down, because I think after 15 minutes they must have thought it was maybe going to be 5 or 6.
Where they go again. Neatly played. Now nobody is as fast as that for that
McNamara used to be, but
Always got...
I was going major way there, actually. McNamara, that's a while ago.
Yes, not even I can remember that, Jim.
I better explain he was a greyhound, all right?
Petrov. Taken by Varga, I think.
Do you know, I hate to say this, but the longer the game goes on, the manner of match award is becoming more and more difficult.
Yeah, indeed. Well, that's why you were given that task.
Is that nobody's standing out now? We had a few candidates in the first half, you know.
Played inside now to Sylla. This is a strange game tonight, Agathe. Not really got going well within his shell. Tremendous when he's on his game, and of course he's one of the players that can suddenly change in a few seconds. All they were doing was get rid of that ball out of the danger area. Now here he is, Agathe. Good covering, and I think a push by Sutton, free kick.
They've been a match for him in the second half. The central defenders have worked very hard at making sure that Chris Sutton doesn't turn.
Exactly. In actual fact, I think they've been quite brave. They've taken on Celtic physically that way. You know, they haven't buckled.
And we've now brought Sylla on, and he's hardly had a ball in the 5 minutes or so he's been on the park. And I presume that's why he's been brought on, is to make a difference. The only way you can do that is by giving him the ball.
Led back to the man who's hardly the favourite of the Celtic supporters, number 7, Tesarik. Rather risky ball to play out there, wasn't sure of himself. And they give that ball away, it looked to be out to me. Celtic, I think, getting the advantage all the same. Celtic really need another goal, Jim.
They do at this stage. I mean, even to lift the fans a wee bit as well.
Well, there's no offside, and then he does. Well, that was delayed at least by 5 seconds before the man on the far side put his flag out. I looked across.
He looked offside, Stan Petrov.
He did look offside, yeah, but the flag was done.
Delayed, yeah.
I think Petrov was surprised himself when he took off after the ball again.
If he was driving your train, you'd never get there in time.
Off the back of Varga's head. Balde tried to get in on it. Took that well. Now Thompson. That's a good looking ball. Beautiful ball played in. Although the man at the back there, Rada, has improved enormously in central defence. As a Dolezal.
It was a yard short to bring the perfect ball, wasn't it? Another yard and it was there, you know. Oh, he got a bad one there.
Yes. Referee, is he letting the play go on? Sylla going down, and Thompson. Yes, he puts the ball over.
Yeah, like to see that, Archie, because he got caught, I think, as he tried to turn. A really painful one. He took it just on the inside of the knee and thigh. One of those ones that incapacitates you for maybe a few seconds and then it eases off. Nothing broken, nothing damaged, but just extremely painful.
Man of the match, of course. Sponsored by the Celtic View. There's the number 09079 29 20 20. Back to Varga. A little bit nervy that time. No, you have to say not the best Celtic performance in the second half, Jim.
Good
but
chance.
Here goes the man who can change the game, and he took his eye off it. I think he was looking at Sylla inside, and down to Margo down there. What's the situation like down on the bench?
Well, the manager, of course, was absolutely furious with that tackle on Sylla, but glad to see that Momo's back up and taking part in the competition again.
Lambert did very well to come in and take that away, give it to Balde. Is that late? It was again. I think this might turn out to be quite interesting across there, Jim, the way they're shaping up.
Well, they've had a boost since half-time.
I mean
haven't they?
even you know, in terms of the physical nature of the way they're playing.
Also, I mean, another 3-0 would just be ideal.
Thompson trying to get it through, he's still in there. Oh, it wasn't far away.
Good shot, but
Knew
always
exactly
rising.
what he was going to try and do when he went for that.
But everybody just seems a wee bit at 6s and 7s just now. We're not really supporting each other the way that we did before. We're not trying those long,
Here's a
quick
shot
passes.
coming in.
It was always rising, Archie. You know, I used to hit them like that regularly.
But there by Sylla seems to be okay now. Balde watching this. Yes, far on Balde.
Our friend Masek again.
Yes. Quite a decent player. Oh, that's a mistake by Lambert. Unlike him, normally meticulous with the way he passes the ball around like that. And we've now got 10 minutes remaining. And a goal at this stage would be very useful indeed for Celtic. I really think that would put the tie beyond dispute. I still think that scoreline's all right for them. They've got plenty experience, especially from their run last year, to go virtually anywhere with a 2-goal lead. But nevertheless, 3 is much, much better. It's not just a goal of a difference. Psychologically, 3's a
Very much so. But I should imagine their bench is thinking the exact opposite, Archie, that if they could just get this one goal away from home, what a difference it would make to the next tie.
Certainly knocking the passes together now. And what have they won here? They've won corner kick, yes. And Lambert, McNamara coming in very quickly there to try and defend. And now we've got a corner kick. And it's still 2-0.
And they've had very few corners.
So we have this one. It'll be taken by Michael Dolezal. They have got the 2 bigger men there. Was Masek and the substitute Rilke. And it swings down there. And there's an that's a chance by Rada. Rada was very close in there and he hooked round at that, and I think he was complaining that there might have been a deflection. In comes the ball here, and as it played down, Rada goes for it.
He was entirely unmarked when he swung round, Archie, edge of the 6-yard box and sent it over. That was a real chance. I think they might live to regret something like that.
Indeed,
I don't think it touched anybody right away. It went straight over the bar.
9 minutes remaining. There's a push there and Sutton free kick.
Now again, Balde is coming up, and again Stan Varga is coming up. So it's the type of, it's going to be a cross, you would think, or a chip into the box by Paul Lambert that aims for where they are, and they're both at the left-hand side of the post.
Here he goes. Up is right through, I think, goal kick, yes.
Right type of ball, but just nobody managing to get their head on it.
Well, time is of the essence now. A goal for Celtic, I'm quite sure, would put them into the next round of the Uefa Cup. But it's that close, they must not concede one.
No, and I think that's what the thought will be down in the bench, actually. You know, that you could, if you were going to be adventurous, you could bring on one of the young boys with a view to winning more comfortably than 2-0.
Verbir again, who tends to be overusing the ball at times. Balde just getting his head to that. Sylla. Now that had to be very well timed because he had 2 Czech players coming towards him. The Celtic supporters want that ball to be pushed on as quickly as they can now. Now he has played well in the second half, Hunal. So little time left. Anything could happen. We're getting close to the man of the match time, and it's a difficult call, I must admit. It's a difficult call because there were standouts early on in the game, and then it's all been very relatively, I emphasise, stale for Celtic in the second half.
I totally agree with you, Archie, by the way.
Well, that will make a change. In it comes. That's a shorted goal and two straight. And Robert Douglas getting right behind that. He didn't need to move, but he had to be behind it, and he had to clutch it as cleanly as he could. There goes Larsson. Just the wrong side though, the player. Well, here's his fullback again, overdoing it. Going towards the last 5 minutes of the game. How another goal would be so vital for Celtic at this stage. Larsson whipping it across. Sylla. There's a corner kick, and this is where it may pay for Celtic. They score a lot of the goals from free kicks and corner kicks. Balde, is he hesitating to go forward? No, he's not. He's going into the box. All they're doing is Paul Lambert and McNamara back. The rest are in. That's a good-looking ball, and the goalkeeper took that so easily. Here's Balde chasing down here. And I think there may have been a bit of a push, yes.
And he's got cramp anyway, our friend Masek.
And cramp as well.
But actually, he's put in a shift, and
he has indeed.
His form has actually affected the rest of his team, because when they were really struggling, he showed them what to do, and they've all now been doing it. And we're about to make another substitution. Valgaeren, it looks like, coming on.
It is indeed. Jus Valgaeren. Certainly not a regular in the Celtic team at the moment. It goes again, and that's a slack one. Should be an easy one for a punt upfield. Well, 2-0's not enough for the Celtic support, that's for sure. I think, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I think 2's plenty for Celtic, given the experience they have.
Interesting to hear the reaction from the crowd actually at the end, because there's no doubt they are very disappointed. They were hoping for more than that, and with the start we got so quickly, you know, they really hope to get more. It's Jackie McNamara coming off, is it?
It is indeed, yeah. McNamara comes off. Jus Valgaeren, who was at one stage anyway a real favourite of this Celtic support. It's not exactly he's out of favour, but simply hasn't been playing.
No, injuries played a part as well, though, actually, you know, and there is a problem here, because he's not comfortable on the left side of the back three, as he's been moved to just now, you know.
Free kick.
And Varga goes up once more.
Everybody up. All the big men. Towering men. Played back to Balde. Played that short one. Here's Valgaeren. Chased by Sylla. And the goalkeeper. I think the goalkeeper could have let that go.
Well done. He did well.
But he did very well to get right across. And you're right, Jim. I think they must be delighted at 2-0. I mean, if you lose 2-0... in a European game against a team like Celtic, you're really going to be struggling in the next leg. But on the other hand, I would have imagined their coach might have thought that by now there would be 6 behind.
And it attracts a crowd if you're only 2-0 down for the return leg.
Indeed. Petrov. That's better play by Agathe. That's a useful ball, and Varga almost there.
Good cross, slightly behind him. He had to go back and header it forward, which is not the easiest thing to do, but he did very well getting on target. Just unfortunate the elevation was a bit too high.
And certainly pushing forward. You can see the immaculate timing. I think it was just a wee bit to his right hand side, forcing him to turn. Well now, Jim, as you see, we've got about less than a couple of minutes to go. Your man of the match.
Well, there were quite a number of candidates in the first half who died in the second half. I could have picked Henrik Larsson for the work he did. I could have picked Alan Thompson for some great passes, but the one man who consistently worked very, very hard all the way through and put in a real shift and worked his socks off for Celtic was Stan Petrov.
Petrov gets the man of the match. I hope you were fortunate tonight in the competition. And no doubt some of you will disagree with Jim Craig, but then he's used to that. So, throw.
The thick skin is a prerequisite, isn't it?
Certainly in this business it is. Played forward there by Leitner. Little touch inside, away by Varga. Just getting it anywhere. And played again, it's very untidy in midfield. Now the last surge by Celtic, perhaps. The referee says that's a free kick, and this might be the last chance to put this tie beyond any doubt at all as Varga comes up.
Balde must come up as well.
Balde is coming a little bit late, but in it comes from Thompson. It's a good looking ball. Varga gets a touch on the goalkeeper. Away to the side there to touch it. And I think the goalkeeper was annoyed that the marking wasn't all that great, but he got to it nevertheless.
That was Valgaeren nearly sneaked in at the far post to do that. He's been told to stay up there by Alan Thompson. Paul Lambert's come back in defence with Agathe.
Here comes the corner kick. Put out into stoppage time. And it's there! Henrik Larsson's done it! Would you believe this man can pop up? And that surely clinches it. Even in a crowded penalty area, even when you think there are so many players down his throat, he can still get that freedom. And that does it. Henrik Larsson again to the rescue, making sure that Celtic go to the Czech Republic with less anxiety than, well, 30 seconds ago.
Well, I must give credit to Stan Petrov for a very well, hard-driven cross to the near post beyond the men who had come out for it, and Henrik gave Henrik the opportunity. No wonder I gave him man of the match.
There we are, 3-0. And I think that puts the tie beyond any dispute. Touched away again. Well into stoppage time. Oh, I don't think there's any doubt the Celtic should now be thinking of who they'll get in the draw.
Yeah, there's some good teams left in this competition, Archie, and
Indeed.
The better teams in Teplice, with all due respect to them.
Sutton, Sylla. Petrov. That's a beautiful ball. Balgaeren popping up on the left again. And there is Sutton. So close to that, I think he was being hampered. But he did get the header in, that was the most important thing. Just angled away, and it remains 3-0.
Unlucky, Archie, he was under pressure all the time, defender shoving him all the way, but he got his head to it, and it can't have been all that far past the post.
Referee looking at his watch. Valgaeren does well to get that. Yes, hands used. Free kick. They'll want another one, I think, Celtic.
Martin and him urging him forward, telling them all to get in. He wants the big guys up at the back, quite rightly too.
Nice play by Agathe. He's going to let fly, is he? Sylla on the outside. Just knocked away. And there goes the final whistle. Well, that Henrik Larsson goal has turned out to be absolutely invaluable. There is a huge difference between a 2 and a 3 goal lead. And there's Martin O'Neill delighted with this amazing man doing it again for Celtic. Coming in here at the near post. There it was. Astonishing how he can get in front of people like that, Jim.
But it was an excellent corner for a start, Archie.
Of a new man in the match.
Yeah, over the men at the near post, and then it's up to Henrik, and he didn't let us down. A hard-won victory. I mean, you can't say it was easy because they really put up a sterling performance in the second half in terms of resistance. And I should imagine over there, pride will drive them on, and Celtic won't get an easy passage. But to go with a 3-goal lead is a lot better than going with a 2-goal lead.
Absolutely.
And they should be thankful for that.
And I think that sums it up well. You know, that huge gulf that is between the 2 and the 3-goal lead, and Celtic, I think, much more relaxed about their return journey. The final score, Celtic 3, Teplice 0.
But a very difficult second half.
Very, very difficult. Teplice is a very physical team. They give us a really hard time, but we worked hard. We're happy we scored 3 goals, but we don't need to forget that there's another one game. So 3-0, good win, and we'll think about for the next game when we go over there.
It was a very good start, but wasn't it the early goal from Henrik and then the second one from Sutton? It looked comfortable at half time.
Yeah, really when you lead 2-0 in the half time, it gives you more confidence, and all the boys feel comfortable on the pitch. 2 great goals from 2 great strikers. So we're happy that in the end we scored the third one and give us a good lead before we go there.
And that was thanks to you, Stelian, of course, a great ball in to enable us to feel a bit of relief going into the second leg.
Well, you just try to whip it in, but it's a great header from Henrik. Just great header, went in front of the defender and just scored a great goal.
Well done, Stelian, the Celtic TV Man of the Match in association with Celtic View. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Martin, you were every right to be cautious going into that game because they looked more than capable of taking something from us in the second half.
Well, they did, yeah. I mean, we played very, very well in the first half. We got 2 goals, and perhaps I was concerned about conceding a goal in the second half. So perhaps maybe it might be down to me not so much in terms of being cautious. Just didn't want us to concede a goal, and you should know after all this time in football, that no matter how well you play, that you're likely from a corner kick or a set piece maybe for something for opposition to fall for them, as it nearly did, and about 6 or 7 minutes to go. But I would have taken a 3-0 at the start of the game. I would have taken a clean sheet and all of those things. And I thought for our first half performance we were terrific. Just got stodgy in the second half.
It was a dream start, and it could easily have been more than 2 because Stephen Pearson on his European debut for Celtic did fantastically well.
He did very well, and I mean he's learning all the time, and he could have maybe made it 3 for us. Bit of bad luck, but overall I'm very, very pleased. I'm pleased that the third goal's a godsend in many aspects. Now that doesn't mean anything. It means then that we're going to try and go out there and score a goal for ourselves.
Third goal makes all the difference going ahead to Wednesday, but you've still got Sunday to think about before you even go there.
Of course, yeah. I mean, Sunday's a big game now. Of course, they're coming thick and fast, and then we go and we play on Wednesday as well too. So it's all happening for us. I'm delighted tonight to have won the game. As I said, I thought the first half was excellent, second half a bit stodgy, but we didn't concede. And I think we should be absolutely delighted that we've won the game 3-0 and we've given ourselves a chance.
Well done, thank you.
Thank you, Mark.